Hello, this is Dr. Rita Marie back with some more information, and today's topic is on anemia. And why am I talking about anemia? Well, I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm anemic, and right away they assume that being anemic means that they're low in iron. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. A lot of people have plenty of iron in their system. They're eating plenty of iron, and adding more iron to the picture is not going to solve their anemia problem. So I thought I'd just give you a little rundown on the types of anemia and the types of things that could cause anemia, so that instead of just running out and popping iron pills because you have low energy or your doctor said you were anemic, that you'll understand what anemia is and understand some of the causes. So we have, there's several different types of anemia. The main types that we see in regular populations are what's called microcytic anemia and macrocytic anemia. And I'll tell you more about that in just a second. There's another kind of anemia that's called hemolytic anemia. And hemolytic anemia is a more serious condition, and it corresponds or correlates or comes along with, what's the word I'm looking for? It just travels along with other diseases where there's internal bleeding and you're losing blood, and that's why you're anemic. So the other two, microcytic and macrocytic, what does that mean? Well, that refers to the size of your blood cells, your red blood cells in anemia. So anemia basically means that you don't have the right transport system. You're not transporting enough oxygen to the tissues. And you can have microcytic anemia, which is your blood cells are too small, they're little. And that's usually caused by iron deficiency. Not always, but it can be caused by iron deficiency or blood loss, like we said before. Macrocytic anemia can be caused by a number of things. Macrocytic anemia can be caused by vitamin B12 deficiency or folic acid deficiency. And those are commonly looked at. One of the anemias that people don't look at very often is vitamin C anemia and vitamin B6 anemia. So let's talk a little bit about the physiology of transporting oxygen in your blood, and then it'll make sense what these anemias mean. Basically, you've got hemoglobin as a molecule that's in your blood, and it's got iron and oxygen, and it transports the oxygen through your bloodstream and out to your tissues so that you can be happy and healthy and do all the lovely things you like to do. Well, iron, if you don't have enough iron, obviously you're not going to be able to have enough hemoglobin to transport the oxygen, because you need iron to make hemoglobin. One of the things that I see a lot of is people have plenty of iron in their blood, but they don't have enough hemoglobin. What's going on there? And their blood cells might be normal sizes. We look at that. You can have normocytic anemia, which the blood cells are normal sized, and you still have anemia. So the hemoglobin is low, the iron is normal. What's going on? And the blood cell size is normal. What's going on there? Usually it's B6 deficiency, because you need B6 to be able to convert the iron, or take the iron and turn it into hemoglobin, create hemoglobin from it. So that's one that's overlooked. So if you've got high iron or normal iron and you've got low hemoglobin, tell your doctor, I'm not iron deficient, I'm not taking any more iron, I need B6. So that's one. And then the iron deficiency is real clear, and there's blood indicators. It's real easy to pick up. You have small blood cells, you have low iron, and then you run something called serum ferritin, which is the storage form of iron. And if that's low too, icing on the cake, you've got iron deficiency anemia. Iron is what you need. But if you supplement iron when you don't need it, you create problems. Iron is an oxidant, so iron can cause problems with your immune system. It's even been associated with cancer, excess iron. And if you have a genetic tendency towards it, you can end up with something called hemochromatosis, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, so what else? You've got vitamin B12 and folic acid, which is another B vitamin that can cause anemia. What does that look like? Well, you get your blood test done, and your blood cells look a little bit bigger than they should. There's something called MCV in your blood test. And if that's elevated, then you go, I wonder if we have a B12 or a folic acid deficiency. So usually what you'll see is a normal level of iron, low or normal hemoglobin, and big MCV, large number of cells. And there's more complicated things that I talk about in my Assess Your Body chemistry course that we can't really cover in a 10-minute video. But there's other indicators that you can look for, and we're going to do a whole lecture on that. So If you've got this situation, B12 is in order. B12 supplementation or folic acid. How do you know which? Well, a lot of docs will run a B12 serum test. It's not real accurate for B12 deficiency. What you really want to run is something called MMA, methylmalonic acid. So if you've got, but there's no real danger in supplementing the B12. If you've got the large cells and you have this condition going on and you have some low energy and all this stuff, even if you don't, just get some B12. You can get patches. B12 patches are a great way to go because you put it on your skin. You don't have to worry about that your stomach isn't absorbing it and you're not making enough intrinsic factor. And you get you get your B12 that way. Folic acid is really easy to get with whole, fresh, green leafy vegetables that have not been cooked, loaded with folic acid. Right? So I'm not a big fan of supplementing folic acid unless necessary. And then when I do, there's certain forms that you want to make sure you get. And again, we go into all that detail in Assess Your Body Chemistry, your own body chemistry, because we want you to be able to assess your own body chemistry. So bottom line, because I covered a lot and got into a little biochemistry, if you've got anemia, you've got the signs of anemia, you've been told you have anemia or are suspicious that you have anemia, you get your blood tests back and you have low hemoglobin, but high iron or normal iron, then chances are you might have a B6 deficiency. And B6 is such an important nutrient, and I see it deficient in so many people. It's important for hormone metabolism. It's important for brain chemistry metabolism. So if you also have a little bit of depression going on or PMS, then even more indication that you might need B6. So that's my, in a nutshell, quick and dirty description of anemia. And for lots more of that, take a look at the Assess Your Body, Assess Your Own Body class.